start out with that. Okay, may all beings or whoever be happy and well. Incline the mind towards goodwill. And then he would do a bit of an attractiveness of the body practice. So as kind of to give up the desires for the body or the world or whatever. And then he would go to mindfulness or breathing. And that is kind of very similar to what I was talking about yesterday. Similar kind of ideas. The giving up on the world on the one hand, because this is about having the right values, valuing the spiritual path, not valuing the world so much. And then on the other hand, doing the metta, which is like here, takes the place of goodwill, takes the place of virtue, of kindness, of morality, and all of these kind of things. And we can follow something similar to what this particular meditation teacher was suggesting. To strengthen the mind, strengthen the mindfulness at the beginning. And so you can, if you know that there are certain things that concern you, that you tend to obsess about. The mind tends to obsess about things. It goes in circles around the same thing often again and again and again. And so if you are certain things that you that comes back into your mind all the time, then remind yourself that actually the spiritual path is what should be given priority. These things are kind of irrelevant in the long run. Eventually these things just come back, they're just more of the same, they're always unreliable, always uncertain. There isn't really a solution. Okay, let it go. Take your values onto the spiritual path, away from the world, by reminding yourself what really matters. And you can do that sometimes quite easily. There are many ways of doing this. And one way of doing it is to remind you of a time when you felt really fed up with something. There was something in your life like your work or whatever, you get really fed up with your work because actually it wasn't really getting anywhere, it wasn't working out, your colleagues were difficult, it was just yucky. And you fed up. You weren't angry, you just fed up, you wanted to kind of withdraw. And that is part of that feeling of changing your values. Your values are no longer in the work. Your values are now, you want to withdraw, you want to sit down, you want to close your eyes, you want to go inwards, let the world be. And there's so many parts of life that can be like that. It can be the world at large with the politics or whatever, it can be really terrible. Sometimes even family life, you just fed up with family life, You just want to withdraw from your family members for a while and just meditate and close your eyes. And these are kind of positive things from a spiritual point of view. You want to withdraw from the world. So you can kind of bring up that sense of kind of ennui with the world, this kind of fed-upness of the world. You're just withdrawing from everything. And so you can remind yourself how you felt in the past, or maybe you can give rise to that feeling now. This particular feeling has a particular name in the Pali Sutta. It's called nibbida. Nibbida means like a sense of being repelled by something, or turning away from something, or sense of moving in a different direction. And then you want to balance that with the idea of, enjoying the fact that you are living well, that you are living a good life, having that sense of metta, goodwill for the world, for the people around you, for the people in the Buddhist society, reminding yourself how fortunate you are to be in such a good, marvelous community, reminding yourself, actually, there are a lot of good people in the world, and what a wonderful thing that is. And then send some of that goodwill to the world at large. May all these beings, may they be well and happy. Why shouldn't they? They deserve happiness, many of these wonderful beings in the world. And you spread some goodwill, building up something positive inside of you. And that feeling that you take with you then into the meditation and allows you to follow the breath or to stay with the meditation object when it arises. So know what you need. And these are two of the critical things that puts in place the morality aspect and also puts in place the value aspect, valuing the right thing in your meditation. When these two things come together, then the mind will incline in the right way, and then it will happen, hopefully, more easily as a consequence. So something like that. So let's try it out and do some meditation together. Okay, so as always, just take plenty of time in the beginning to settle down properly, just to allow the kind of coarser aspects of body and mind just to gradually calm down. This always takes a while for things to calm down. The mind happens gradually, things don't happen quickly, and that gradual thing is a good sign that things are going rightly. So just take time to allow things to settle down there. And then as you settle down, you start to see some of the problems that are there. What are the issues that you have to deal with today or regularly or whatever? Know yourself, know your mind, know what are your habits, good and bad. And as you know that, then you also start to know the remedy, what it is that you have to do to kind of move forward in meditation. But always start off by settling down, getting to a kind of baseline, if you like. as your mind gradually calms down, you gain a bit more clarity about what is going on. And when you see that the mind is thinking about certain things, then just remind yourself that there's nothing really in the world that has any real value. There's no purpose, no aim, no goal in that world. There's usually just more of the same. You solve one thing, another problem arises. It is on the spiritual path that there is a real value and aim. So get your values right. Remind yourself very gently, by giving rise to a perception, a very short, kind of brief thought, but nothing more than that. Incline your mind in the right way. And to balance that out, balance that with a positive thought of the power of the spiritual path, the power of living well, and know that you too follow that path, follow that practice, and allow that to give you a sense of energy in the mind, a sense that you are on the right track, feeling good about yourself in a wholesome kind of way, or developing that sense of metta, of goodwill, any positive quality associated with the Dhamma that lifts you up. And in this way you are balancing the positive of the Dhamma while avoiding the problems of the world. And allow your mind to become peaceful with that. And as the peace deepens, the meditation just tends to happen by itself. The breath becomes peaceful and quiet. It becomes really enjoyable to watch. Smooth, silky, a delightful thing. And you just allow things to grow from there. Okay, so now coming close to the end of the meditation, and as always, it's useful just to spend a few moments reviewing the meditation, trying to understand how it works, what it means to let go, how it actually unfolds. Okay, so do we have any comments or questions, anything from the floor? Please let us know. All quiet? Okay, good. Quiet is good. So that's marvelous. Is there anything from online or anything? If there is, we can take those now. Great, thank you. Okay, so we have a few questions from various places. So the first one is from Eddie in Indonesia. Dear Ajahn, how was your letting go process at your early years in terms of your degree, family, belongings, etc.? And did it influence your meditation progress a lot? It's a gradual thing. You learn to let go over time because you learn to appreciate what the Dhamma is about. Initially, when you come to the Buddhist teachings, you don't really have your priorities right. You don't see clearly what actually is truly of value in this world. So it takes time. It's a gradual change in mind. And this is kind of the problem with the Noble Eightfold Path, is that it's hard to make it work quickly. It unfolds gradually. There's a simile in the suttas of you have an axe handle, and you after many years you can see the imprints of a carpenter's hand on the axe handle. Yeah, it's a wooden handle, but you can't really say how much you're wearing away every day. It's a gradual process of wearing away until the imprints are there, or something to that effect. So it just takes time. Yeah, and the reason why I became a monk was because I had some initial good meditation results already as a layperson. I enjoyed my meditation already. It wasn't very profound, but I enjoyed it. And so that was enough really to kind of draw me towards this kind of life. So does it influence your meditation? Occasionally, of course it does. But gradually, you let go of all of those things. Okay, so question number 2. After several operations, I meditate lying down, but I can't keep peace and stillness because the body irritates me. It's because the body is irritating, that's the reason. So it irritates you. What can I do to find peace and stillness? Kindness is not enough. So I don't know. I mean, there is often no kind of obvious answer to these things. Maybe you need a little bit of distraction. So play a guided meditation, which kind of distracts you a little bit. Sometimes some people, they have this kind of, not music, but like a tone or something, some kind of, sound vibration that they listen to while they meditate. And these things, maybe they will take your attention away from the pain and the irritations of the body. So maybe try something which is a bit more active with your mind, something which engages your attention more, so it you don't feel the body so much. But ultimately, idea is to be able to focus so much on your meditation object that the body kind of fades into the background. That's kind of the ultimate idea. In the meantime, try to experiment with various things, especially things that kind of take your attention in a slightly different direction, in a more powerful way, something that you enjoy, and then see if that works for you. It's not. These things are not easy, and so you just have to keep on experimenting for yourself and see what works. Number 3, how do I balance my inner world and outer world? How do I realize where my boundaries to be myself are, and where they correspond to others? I have difficulty in feeling my own emotions because I feel others' emotions more. Right? Okay. So I guess maybe you have too much empathy. Maybe kind of empathizing too much if you feel other people's emotions all the time. In fact, you don't really feel other people's emotions. You feel your own emotions, but it's a projection, and you think it is what other people feel. You tune into what you assume to be other people's feelings. And then you feel that. But it's not actually their emotion, it's actually your emotions. So it's still your emotions in a way. And so I suppose what you have to do then is you have to focus more on other people's positive emotions. Hang out more with Kalyana Mittas, people who have nice emotions. People who feel happy, people who have metta, these kind of things. And if other people have those, then you can tune into that. Yay, you're going in a good way because you're tuning into those good emotions instead. But remember, they are really your emotions at the end of the day. And ultimately, what is going to work for you is just like everything else. If you live well, over time, you will feel the positive effects of just living well, living with kindness, living with all the good qualities in your life. You will feel those positive things, and you will not be so sensitive to what other people are like around you. You'll be able to create those boundaries more clearly because you have more strength inside, more resilience to deal with the world, and then you will kind of be able to do things rightly. So yes, so be careful who you hang out with. I think that's kind of the main. If you have that tendency, make sure you choose your friends really well. Come to the Saturday meditation here in Dhammaloka Center. That's a good idea. Even if you come from overseas, it's a positive thing. Thank you for that question. Number 4. I feel a lot of remorse for past actions and it's hindering my meditation. I'm not able to overcome it with loving kindness. Okay, so this is something that you gradually will be able to overcome. And the way to overcome it is just by living well now. And you will dilute your past actions by living well now. The more you live well now, the more that dilution will happen. So that's number 1. Keep on. Do understand the fact that you have remorse is actually a very good thing, because that is what will get you out of it. People who have no remorse, they are lost. There's no way they will make any progress. Remorse in Buddhism is a positive emotion. But then also learn to forgive yourself. Learn that you are not as responsible as you think you are. You are a victim of your conditioning from the past, of the world around you. And the more you can see that you are kind of this kind of thing which is kind of like you're kind of a thing that moves according to the conditions around you, you start to be able to forgive yourself for those past things, because actually it wasn't really you. So how can you take responsibility? It will never work 100%, but it will work a long way to give you some freedom from that remorse. Over time, as you reflect in this way, understanding that you were actually trapped in many ways, that's why you did those bad things, then you start to forgive yourself. There was a near-death experience that I read about recently, and it was a very powerful story of this woman who was she was close to abusing her own children. Because why? Well, because she had a very abusive mother of her own. So she kind of passed down the abuse from one generation to the next one. And then she had a near-death experience, and she realized that her own mother herself was a completely lost person. She also had been the victim of abuse. She was lost in the world. She didn't know what was good and bad, basically. She wasn't able to love herself or love anyone because of all the problems in the past. And the moment she saw that her mother's abuse was just a conditioned response that she was unable to control or able to do anything about. That mother probably felt she was responsible, but when you saw the larger picture through a near-death experience, you realized how we are all victims in a sense. We're not really in charge. We feel in charge, but that feeling is precisely the illusion that we're trying to see through. And so try to see yourself more like that. More understand that you are cause and conditions forced you in many ways to do certain things. Then you can forgive because you understand what it means to be a human being, the nature of being human. Then you forgive. Then you move on. Then you start living well, with kindness, with care, all of these positive things. And it kind of all comes together very beautifully. Just have to carry on. And as you carry on, it will happen eventually. Okay, everyone, that is all for today. So let's just pay respect to the Buddha Dhamma Sangha.